live with
oh,
Joey.
is
And
that so?
I remember you being a great tipper and being so knowledgeable and willing to really talk about the game and really being
Uh-huh.
friendly to everyone. So I tip my cap to you. Good to chat with you again.
Yeah, I remember those guys, boy.
They were good guys, and that
Yeah,
was a good place, and
yeah,
it was a
good,
good time.
yeah, it
You
was a
know,
good time. Yeah, you're right.
it
Yeah,
really
it
was.
was. Yep.
People didn't have their phones out all the time, and people went out to bars and people socialized, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, I just felt like people were kinder, people were more social.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like that's the kids are missing that these days. I really
Yeah,
do.
some of the technology kind of cuts that off. You're right.
Yeah,
We
it's
Kind
a
of has
shame.
keeps people kind of separated.
Yeah,
No doubt.
we are live on Rockin' with Rahul and the Three Amigos. We got a special guest on here tonight. Uh, Please give up for Mr. Gary Cobb. Before we start the show, Gary, we have a special song for you.
Okay.
Uh, Fly,
Fly,
Eagles,
eagles,
fly
fly,
on the road
Road
to
to
victory.
victory.
Fight,
Fly,
Eagle, fight.
Eagles.
fly,
Score a touchdown,
Touchdown.
one,
one,
two,
two,
three.
three.
Hit them low,
Oh,
hit
hit them
them
high.
high, and watch
Reach
our
the
eagle
eagles
fly,
fly.
fly,
Fly,
eagle
eagles fly.
fly, on the
On
road
the road
to
to victory.
victory. E A G L
AGL
E S
L-E-S.
Eagles.
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 Hey, hey, hey.
Now we're started.
Okay.
This message will
And
self-destruct. Uh-oh, be careful, guys. You might turn into those guys from San Diego who are trying to sing that song and it went viral. Or be careful. We don't want to give
Okay.
any fodder to the other team this weekend with that song.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that
can
is
you
it.
can you
That,
introduce yourself to the listeners, Mr. Cobb?
Yes. My name is Gary Cobb. I played 11 years in the NFL. I played linebacker. Played 6 years in Detroit um, with the Lions, then 3 with the Eagles, and then 2 with the team down in Texas, Dallas.
that other
Played
team.
two, two, two with the Cowboys and everything. So yeah, and I got a chance to play with some great players down through the years and everything, and really enjoyed my time in the NFL. And now I've been covering the NFL for over 30 years, working in media with WIP and with CBS here in Philadelphia, as well as Fox, who I work with now.
Well, that's
Okay.
excellent. That's excellent. Uh, I have a question for you, Gary.
hmm
How did you get involved in broadcasting after your career? Did you get into it while you were still playing and then just fold right into it, or how did you get involved in that?
Well, when I retired, there was a radio station starting, and this was something that hadn't been done, which is, really and not hadn't really gotten very popular, which is talking about sports on the radio
Right.
and letting people call in, talk about sports. And it really was the beginning of WIP, and which is very popular in the Philadelphia area. And so uh, I went on one day. I believe Ron Jaworski, he was had a show on, and something happened where he couldn't do it. So he asked me, could I pinch it for him for one of the shows? Well, I went in, pinch hit. They said, "Oh, we like what you did. Could you think you would be willing to pinch hit maybe for another time?" And then the next, they offered me a job, and I started working at WIP, and that's when I got involved in media, sports media, and a couple years later, eventually I started working for CBS in Philadelphia, and I worked for them and was working for WIP, and I, put about 10 years in there working for CBS, and then I began working for Fox as well. So I moved on to Fox, and I'm still working for Fox now, and covering the NFL, and also I've worked for the NFL for a while as well, working with them with different things, and really mainly wasn't so much media. It was really working with former players, helping guys to get on their feet financially after they've been released. And a lot of the players, they think they're going to play a long time, and boom, they look up and that's over, and they got to go get a job. So we help guys get jobs, especially if they're living in the Philadelphia area. We try to take care of the former players and help the guys get on their feet financially. So we'll help them get a job and help them kind of get their lives together. So that's something that I kind of do for the NFL. So we're working with former players to help guys in their lives.
How was it like being drafted ninth overall?
Well, it was really in the ninth round, and which it was like forever. When I was with the Cowboys I came out. I got drafted by the Cowboys. It was really what would you say? Really kind of a disappointment, because I didn't know why I got drafted so late. And one of the things is I had been running. I was running. I wanted to get down to like running 4.5 in the 40. And I really lost a lot of weight. And that's the reason I got drafted later, because I think I was weighing about 220 pounds. And they said, boy, that's light for a linebacker. So I really got drafted a lot later than I was supposed to because I had lost all that weight. They didn't think I could put the weight on. I was saying, I don't have any problem putting on weight. So, I wound up playing at about 230, 235. And but I had was drafted by the Cowboys. And I was there for most of the training camp, but then I got released, and eventually I got picked up by the Detroit Lions. So I was playing for the Lions and for Monty Clark, who's a former offensive lineman for the Cleveland Browns, and he was assistant coach for the Miami Dolphins under Don Shula. Okay. He was the offensive line coach, but he became the head coach of the Detroit Lions, and so I played for Monty for 6 years. There in Detroit.
How was that playing? Before I get into that, I wanted to ask you a question. Mm-hmm. When you say WIP, was that back when the WIP was an AM station, 610 WIP?
That's right. It was 610. That's right. It was an AM station, 610. That's right. That's what I started with WIP. Right. Was back during that time. Yeah, you hit it on the head, and it started getting popularity because and of course you have some really diehard fans in Philadelphia. They love all the sports. I mean, the sports teams, and they have opinions about them, and that's why it really was pretty easy to get it going, because you gave somebody the mic and let them give their opinion. Oh boy, that's all Oh man, if you let a Philly fan, you give him the mic and let him give his opinion, he's going to give you his opinion whether you like it or not. So. So it was really a lot of fun working with the different guys, and then of course I knew all of the players on the different teams, and friends with guys like Charles Barkley and with you name it, Randall Cunningham. Of course, I played with Randall, and then with Seth Joyner was there on that team, and Reggie White, good friend of mine.
You had a hell of a team. There was a lot of talent on that team,
especially the defense. It really they had some great players, no doubt about it.
Well, that was a Buddy Ryan team, so he didn't care about offense. He said, "Well, Randall, you just take care of the offense. You run around a lot, and I'm going to put a defense out on the field that's going to break necks."
Yeah, Buddy wasn't much you're right. He wasn't much of the offensive coach. He just told Randall, scramble for 4 or 5 times a game, and that'll help us win the game. I'm going like,
and make sure, and make sure you don't get your skull split in half running the ball.
That's right. Yeah. But Buddy was he was quite a guy. I tell you, I think the thing he liked though, boy, I tell you, he loved when you got a good hit on one of those offensive guys, man. Oh man, it was like Buddy was over there. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh. What a good hit. Oh, I love that. Oh man. He loved to inflict pain on the opposing team. See, he wanted you to split his helmet open,
Right. Well, when he was coaching the Buffalo Bills, he was a defensive coordinator with the Bills back in the 80s?
Really he was with the Bears.
He started out with the Bears, right?
But he might have started out, I don't know if I don't know when he was the Bears was before he came to the Eagles. He might have been with the Bills before that, but I know his time with the Bears because that's when they went to the Super Bowl won the Super Bowl, and he was the defensive coordinator. And they had that defense that really just took over the NFL for a good year. I mean, you had Big William the Refrigerator Perry. They always had him there with his gut hanging over his pants, and
yeah, I wonder how it.
But they had a lot of characters on that defense. Wilson, Otis Wilson was one of the linebackers. Mike Singletary, of course, was the middle linebacker. Right. I can remember some of the safeties they had, but they had a great defense and they had a great year. I mean, they really dominated the NFL. And Buddy was the defensive coordinator, and he was sending blitzes after the opposing team, and
that was the thing.
They had a great defense.
Oh,
out of all the defensive teams you played for, which one did you enjoy playing with the most?
Probably the defense with the Eagles when it was playing with Reggie White and Seth, and playing with Byron Evans. We had I'm just remembering all the different guys. We had characters, but
Mark McMillan. Did you play with Mark McMillan?
Yeah, he was there. We had Eric Allen.
Yes.
You had who else? I'm thinking about I remember one guy. I remember his name, but I got to remember his name. He was a safety. He was a small safety. Of course, Wes Hopkins was there.
Andre Waters.
Andre Waters is the one I was trying to remember. Yeah, Andre. He was Andre was a character, boy. I tell you, he was something else. But we had a good defense, though, no doubt about it, and put a lot of pressure. Clyde Simmons was on that team. We put a lot of pressure on a quarterback, especially with Big Reggie lining up in the middle. A lot of the centers, they were going to fumble one or two times a game with Reggie lining up over there on their head because they know they were getting ready to get smacked the time they snapped the ball. So that was quite a group.
Yeah,
I would say that defense was probably as intimidating as that Bears defense you mentioned, and even as the Ravens defense recently. Everyone was scared to play the Eagles, and everyone was even more scared to play the Eagles at Veterans Stadium.
That's right. I forgot Jerome Brown was also on that team.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, Jerome, he was a great player too, boy. I tell you.
Intimidating.
Very intimidating. You're right.
Buddy Ryan, he coached the Bears. They won the Super Bowl against the New England Patriots, I remember.
That's right.
Memory serves me correct.
You're right.
And then the Eagles had fired their head coach, and they went to Buddy Ryan to be the head coach. Unfortunately, he had no feel for offense. If he had brought himself in an offensive coordinator that could put the offense together and not even have to talk to Buddy Ryan about anything.
Yeah.
The Eagles would have won those big games. They just didn't come out with the win on.
That's right. Really, he wasn't much of an offensive coach, and he really didn't emphasize that part of it because really, if you want to win the whole thing, you really need both sides of the ball playing well, and they really didn't do much offensively. At least get all of the talent and have the type of advanced things that you need to have with an offensive attack. Because we had talented players on the offense, just putting that all together. And the thing about it is, Randall became a better quarterback when he eventually went to Minnesota, and they really had him and taught him how to operate from the pocket, and throwing the ball. And then he still would have been able to have his speed and his ability to run, but a quarterback needs to be able to operate from the pocket,
right?
And then throw, and run when when the opportunities present themselves.
Yeah, like the kid that plays for Buffalo now. I like him. I like him a lot. He seems to have. You look in his eyes and you can tell he's a leader. You can always find the leader just by looking in their eyes, because somehow you can see on the back side of it, it's like they're ready to go and they want to play. and they bring the team along with them,
Mm-hmm.
and which is good. The shame about Randall Cunningham, like you were saying, is they drafted him from UNLV. He came in, and they put him in as quarterback without teaching him squat.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, quarterback's going to move, is going to run as needed during the game.
Yeah.
But Randall's problem in Philly was that he had happy feet because he never got himself set to throw the ball, and that kind of, well, you played with him. That was a kind of a hindrance to him in his game.
That's correct. Yep. Yeah, and they didn't really take that time to really go through those details and the so that he could read, a blitz, or so that he could read what the coverage was, where he knew where he should go with the ball, because we had some good weapons. Mike Quick was on that team.
Mm-hmm.
You had Keith Byers,
Right, from Ohio State.
Chris Carter.
You had Keith Jackson also.
Chris Carter.
Chris Carter was there for a year or two.
How about Vince Papale?
No, Vince wasn't. No. Vince was played for Dick Vermeil. He was there before.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there prior to that. But
if you would have given those teams this line that we have now, they would have been a lot different. I can't recall too many stalwarts that really opened up space for Keith or gave Randall time. I just can't. I can't think of anyone from that line.
See, Buddy didn't value that as much. See,
yeah,
and
then trying to get Ron Stolt.
I said, Ron Stolt. He was one of the guys on the offensive line, but that was not an outstanding offensive line. Because in fact, that's really why Randall was running for his life most of the time.
You're exactly right.
Because they couldn't block they couldn't block at all. I mean, they were horrible, horrible.
I remember a game where the team looked so promising and probably would have made a run to the Super Bowl, and I think he got destroyed by the Packers and got injured and knocked out for the season because the line couldn't protect him.
I remember that year. That was like early in the season, like maybe either the first or second game. He went out with a knee injury. You're right.
I remember his life completely crushed.
That is correct. That is correct. There was quite a few disappointments, and then they lost in the playoffs in a number of times with Buddy. But
were you in the Fog Bowl, Gary?
No, I had left, but no, I wasn't in the Fog Bowl. But I remember it. I remember watching it. That was
bad luck.
Hey, you remember watching it on TV?
Did not win that day.
You couldn't even hardly see the game on TV.
All you could hear is the guys talking in the background, and talking about the Eagles, and
that was a mess,
to say the least.
Yeah, that was a mess. Boy.
That was a great team.
Yeah, that was played against the Bears.
Yeah, the Bears in the Fog Bowl, right?
Playing against the Bears in the Fog Bowl. That's right. You really didn't know what was going on.
I think you caught it.
You look at the TV.
There's no way they would play that game today. There's no way. Everyone would walk off the field. They wouldn't be able to use all the cameras.
That's right. They would have, like they should have, which they really should have canceled that game.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't see it, and a lot of the players couldn't see very much, and that was oh boy, that was one for the ages, boy. That was one for the ages then, boy.
That really was.
When you have a bunch of guys that are 250 pounds plus, and they're going around and they're on the field and they can't see. I mean, you talk about injuries. I mean, they should have stopped that game just because it was. I mean, guys get their knees blown out or something happened when getting hit without seeing what's going on. Yeah. I mean, a defensive player is really at his really cannot defend himself if he can't see in front of him. I mean that just makes sense, and there was so much of a chance for somebody on either one of those two teams to get hurt.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's a wonder that they let that game go on, because that game should have been suspended, and they should you try to play, maybe a day or two after that or something, where you reschedule the game, because that just really wasn't fair for either team. That wasn't fair.
No.
Because you can't see, I mean.
Yeah, it's like, think about putting a bunch of blind guys out on the field.
Yeah.
And telling them, all right, ready, go. They don't know what's coming. They can't see what's going on. Tell me that isn't a thing for somebody getting really racked up.
It's a wonder. I haven't seen a replay of it, but it's a wonder they didn't play the replay. Well, I don't think the NFL probably wanted them to play the replay. Now that you mention it, because that wasn't one of the better days.
Excuse me, try to finish talking, because I want to have my turn to answer questions. I didn't want to interrupt.
Okay. Oh, go ahead. Right. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, what was it like playing with Buddy Ryan and Reggie White and Jerome Brown and Randall Cunningham?
What was it like playing for them? Well, with each player, they had different personalities. Now Reggie White was like a big kid. He loved playing jokes. He was he liked doing things where he would let's say hide your equipment. I mean, or he'd hide something of yours. Put it in a place. And somebody come into the locker room and go, "Hey, man, where's my helmet at, man? Where's my helmet?" Reggie had put it. He put it on somewhere. And you could see him over there, and you could tell if you look over there, and he's smiling, kind of. He hid your helmet.
As their coaches are yelling at you to get on the field.
Well, he would do it mainly during the week. He wouldn't do it for a game. He would do it during the week. Let's say for practice. So you're going, "Hey, man, where's my helmet, man? We got practice, So, but he would do different things, and he would had these different. He tried these magic tricks and stuff. But Reggie was like a big kid. He was. He loved to joke around and everything. And Jerome had some of the same characteristics, and that's why they were two characters, man. Oh boy, especially the rookies. They would take a rookie, let's say, and hide all his clothes. The kid's out clear doesn't have any clothes. I mean,
Gary, you want to know what's crazy? I actually have a Jerome Brown Eagles jersey.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jerome was. They were a lot of fun, and Jerome lived around the corner from me, so a lot of times I used to come by and pick him up, and we drive to practice and everything, because he lived around the corner, and during his rookie year he didn't know where everything was, so it was him, and for that matter, Keith Byers was there too. I think, I think I used to pick up Keith too, but they're young players, man. They were funny, but Jerome was really, boy, I tell you, he was really played emotionally, and he was fired up, man, when it came game time. My goodness, he was emotional, and he was ready to hurt somebody, man. I'm going like I'm staying out of his way.
When they were both around, Gary, what was it like when you heard that Jerome and Reggie both passed away?
Well, I can tell you with Jerome, it was like, oh man, because it was Reggie, of course, had finished his career, and he had passed well after he had finished playing, but Jerome, he died like during maybe after his third or fourth year in the league. And it was during the off season, and he was racing. But I'll tell you one experience I had. We used to practice, let's say maybe a couple of miles from Veterans Stadium, and we practiced in this old field. What was the name of the stadium? This stadium? It was an older stadium.
Are you calling it JFK?
JFK, yeah. So we had to drive down there. So one day, I was coming out of the locker room, and just so happened that Jerome was driving by, and he was going to go down to JFK. So I said, hey man, let me have a ride. Which that was a mistake. And it was a dire mistake I made, because Jerome for that 2 miles, we drove over to JFK. Jerome drove it like we were in the Grand Prix.
Oh man!
I mean, like it's the Indianapolis 500. He's flying down there, and these are little bitty streets too. If anybody stepped out in the street, they were dead. I mean, Jerome drove the car like he was out of his mind, and we drove over there. And once we got over there to that JFK, I got out and I said, man, I will never, ever in my life get in a car with you driving. You got to be out of your mind,
Oh man.
And so you can imagine when I had heard that he had gotten in an accident, I knew kind of what had happened, because he was obviously driving crazy. But he should have just went on a racetrack, because he would. You haven't seen anything like it, but he would be wide open, and that's why I was saddened to hear that when I found out he had passed in an accident. But I knew it's why, and in that accident they had become airborne.
Oh.
A Corvette that he was he was in it, and as well as his nephew, and because as solid as Jerome was, you're going like, man, what kind of car accident could he get in that would kill him?
Right.
But it was a car accident because he wanted to be a race car driver. But anybody that wants to do that, they need to get in a safe area where they can drive like that. Because Jerome would step on the he would step on the on that gas pedal, man. Wow.
Two questions for you. First question is, what was your game day preparation when you stepped onto the field?
Well, one of the big things that was for my game day preparation, I would really try to kind of play the game in my mind, and then really that's the way I would work, and almost like my practice during the week was be seeing the game played in my mind before it's played on the field. And so that's what I would do to prepare for a game, because a lot of times if you're playing linebacker, you just got to be able to move instinctively, after you see the play, the time they snap the ball, a lot of things you're doing, you're really not just using your mental brain where you're sitting there and figuring things out. You just got to do it instinctively. And that's the way I would do in preparation for a game. I just kind of see myself playing the game, see the different formations that the other team like to run. And then to be a good football player, especially defensive player in the NFL, you got to know what the other team likes to run, what they like to do out of different formations that they get in, because the formations will tell you the chances are they're getting ready to run a certain type of play, especially if you know the personality of the team. And so we would study the teams, we study those formations, and most of the time we could kind of tell you what play they're getting ready to run, and then that way you could be quick to it, if you have a good feel for what they like to do out of certain formations. And usually most of the offensive coaches and the guys that are calling the plays, they have a personality of what they like to do when they call the plays. You had to study that during the week, and then that way you'd be very quick to jump on all of the all of those different plays when you saw them in the game. But the preparation it requires a lot of study and looking at film of the other team, and then you'll be ready to go and you can make some big plays, because if you recognize something very quick, boom, you're on it. You cause a fumble or you pick off a pass. That's the type of thing you want to do. So you want to make sure you do your homework.
when you were playing linebacker on the defense, which quarterback did you sack the most, and 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 did you like hitting the players hard? Like,
oh yeah, I love hitting him. You know, I had a game against, who was that? Okay, it's the Atlanta Falcons, where I had 4 sacks. I'm trying to remember the name of that quarterback. I think his name was, what was his name, man? You know, I remember because I was a defensive player of the week, and I had 4 sacks against. I halfway remember that guy's name, but it was a quarterback for the Falcons, and you know, I had some other games where I had 2 and 3 sacks, but that was the best game that I had from a sack standpoint, was 4 sacks against the Atlanta Falcons, and we beat them that game 16-0. So our defense had a good day that day.
Any shutouts a good day, right?
That's a pretty good day. 16-0. That's a pretty good day for the defense. And Buddy Ryan, like, he loved that game.
Oh yeah.
Because we were getting, I think guy's name was David Archer.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He was the quarterback, yeah. So I got to know him that afternoon.
Personally.
Yeah, personally. Go, hey man, it's me again.
Yeah, look out! Here I come.
That's
their
right.
Their offensive line left a lot to be desired.
They left a lot to be desired. Is the truth. You better believe it. You better believe it. They operated like like one of those turning stalls.
Yeah, turnstile.
Yeah, turnstile. That's right.
It keeps moving.
Yeah, this keeps on moving. That's right, like a circle. You're right.
Go ahead, William. Ask a question, pal.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to wait until he was done talking. So, who do you think is the best fan base when you were playing in the NFL?
Who was the best? Well, I know the biggest was the Cowboys, but I think the best still now, I think it's the Eagles fans, from the emotion that they show, and the commitment, because some fans are just there. In fact, the Dallas fans, like when I was down in Dallas, they're just sitting there watching the game, like, okay, some of them there, they got on their little suit jacket or whatever, and they're not into the game. They're not making the kind of noise, but I think the Philadelphia fans, they are the most emotional fans. They're into the game. I've been around Eagles fans when they travel on the road, because for years, when I was working with CBS, I had to go on the road for the games, and we would do a show, and I would be talking to the audience back in Philadelphia, and be going on a travel with to wherever the team was going. So Philadelphia fans are, most emotional and committed fans. But let's see, there are other fans, there's some pretty good fans, but I think Philly fans, they've gained a reputation that really kind of stands above the other fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People in Philadelphia understand the game. They know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So they root like hell because they know what they're rooting for. And yeah. I mean, today, the amount of money that people pay to go to a professional game,
mm-hmm.
plus they don't mind spending that money or anything. They want to be in that stadium and they want to be part of that game going on.
That is true. That is true. They definitely and when they go to another town, the Eagles fans are there because they're wearing their stuff. They got their the hats on and different Eagles stuff on, and they're not afraid to let everybody know, yeah, we're Eagles fans, and they'll be EAGLES, Eagles. You'll be hearing that the whole weekend. And I was saying, when I was working with CBS, I would have to fly to the game, so I'd be flying there with Eagles fans. So pretty much the whole time we're on the plane, EAGLES, Eagles. I said, look, Hey, we're trying to get some sleep up here. But no, they were a lot of fun. They always had a lot of Eagles fans, and you know, I always had a lot of fun with them. You know, joking around with them and stuff. But the Eagles fans are loud, and they're gonna let you know that they're around.
Yeah.
When you were playing for the Cowboys, was Jerry Jones the owner back then?
He had just bought the team. For one of the years I was there, he was the owner, and yeah, Jerry bought the team. He was, you know, younger guy then, and you know, he was a character, and you know, you had Michael Irvin was there, and Troy Aikman, and you know, quite a few of those guys that end up playing on some of those championship teams, you know. But it was fun.
Did you ever have to, when you were traveling with the team or with CBS? Did you ever have to stay in the same hotel with the Eagles fans?
Oh yeah, plenty of times. Oh yeah, yep. Because most of the time they would have us stay in the hotel where maybe the team was staying, but there were always a lot of Eagles fans around, you know, with the hotel that we stayed in. Because sometimes I would, you know, it would pretty much be traveling like I was a fan, you know, because we had my cameraman was with me, and he and I were the ones that would travel, and we would go to the away games, you know, wherever the team was playing at, and because we had to do a TV show, and part of the show was us, you know, talking to them prior to the game. We would be at the stadium the Eagles were getting ready to play in, and talk about the weather, you know, what was going on, and talking about the team they were getting ready to play and everything. So it was an hour-long show we did every week, you know. Like I do an hour-long show now, but I don't travel to the games for Fox. We do a show that starts at 10 a.m. every Sunday morning, goes from 10 to 11, and it's a pregame show talking about the Eagles and what's going on with the team and everything. And then after that, they have the national show comes on that starts at like 11.
So the show you do is live.
Yeah, that show. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And when the Eagles won the first Super Bowl in 2018, and Brandon Graham did the strip sack against Tom Brady, and that sealed the victory and all. How was your reaction when they won the first Super Bowl?
Well, you know, I in fact, I got video where I was after the game, I was down there talking to Brandon about that play. And I was telling Brandon, I said, you don't realize this now, man. But I said, your little daughter there, she's going to be a woman who's getting up in her, you know, older. And they're still going to be talking about her dad knocked the ball out of Tom Brady's hands to help the Eagles win their first Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know, and I told him, this is going to be, you know, this is history, man. You knocked the ball out of Tom Brady's hand.
Yeah, that's history.
And Tom Brady, during that play, they were on the verge of coming back against the Eagles.
Oh yeah, he was. If he hadn't strip sacked him, Brady would have taken him right down the field. Yeah,
that's right.
And Gronk, and they just would. Those guys would just catch the ball with one hand behind their back and keep.
That's moving. Right. And he was looking. He had spotted somebody that was open, and he went back. And he never was able to bring it forward because when he went back with the ball, Brandon knocked that ball out of his hands, and the Eagles recovered, and that ultimately helped them win the Super Bowl because the Patriots were coming back trying to win, about on the verge of winning that game. So that was history. And,
absolutely.
Did you enjoy the first parade we had in 2018?
Oh yeah. Had a good time in that parade, and with all the guys, you know, and see, a lot of times I get to know a lot of the guys on the team because I'm over there in the locker room. Like I was over there today, talking to Jalen and to all the guys on the team, and a lot of the young players they have on the defense. You know, and that's the thing people don't know is that the Eagles have the youngest defense in the NFL.
Yeah.
They have the youngest. And one of the reasons for that is they can't afford to pay them. They got to be young because
right.
they're paying all the money to the offense. And the Eagles have the highest paid offense in the NFL. And you think about it, you got a $50 million a year quarterback. You got a running back that's making $20 million a year. You got 3 or 4 of the offensive linemen are making $20 million a year. You got one of the receivers is making $34 million a year, and the other one's making 25. That's a very expensive roster there when you talk about offensive players. Let's see. So how many guys? You got Jalen and Saquon and Devontae and AJ and them all making well over $20 million. And you got 3 offensive linemen making over $20 million. So
yeah, Lane Johnson, I think he makes the most of the offensive linemen.
Yeah. So you got all those guys making all that money. So their defense is all young guys that they have not gotten into their second contract really, and they got all these young guys on the defense, and really that's going to be what Brandon Graham is going to bring. He's going to bring a stabilizing effect to the young defense the Eagles have.
Yeah.
Because he's older than all of them, and really he's probably old enough to be a lot of their. No, he's not old enough. Well, I guess he probably is old enough to be their father. Where you got some of the guys at 21, 22 years old, and you got Brandon is what, 30, 36 or whatever, something like that.
When the Eagles went to the Super Bowl in 2022, they lost to Kansas City the first in 2022, and then in 2024 they won that rematch. How was your reaction beating Kansas City and having another parade again?
It was great because that was really painful the one they lost, because they came so close. They came so close and lost that one. But the one last year, the way they blew Kansas City out, normally you're not able to be celebrating almost at halftime of a Super Bowl, but they blew the doors off Kansas City. Yeah. And I have never seen this Kansas City team be beaten like that, because we look over at the sideline and the Chiefs were like almost, some of them were just despondent on the bench, and this was in the first half.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, so the Eagles really put a beating on the Chiefs, and that was just an outstanding game, and hopefully we get a chance to experience that again.
Yeah, hopefully we get a chance to experience another third parade.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And I have Mr. Gobb, I have another question for you. What was the hardest hit you ever took?
The hardest hit I ever took? Well, really, the hardest hit I ever took was probably when I was playing kickoff, when I'm in my rookie year.
On the bomb squad.
And I was running down. And really, to be honest, I wasn't even in, it was when I was at USC, where I went to college at. And I was running down, and I forgot who they were playing. I'm running down who we were playing. And I don't know where the guy came from, All I know is the guys were going, they had to lead me to the bench because I didn't know where our bench was,
Yeah, you didn't know where you were.
I didn't know where I was. That's right. So I got hit like that. But see, from that experience, I learned the key of keeping your head on the swivel. If you're running down, I'm going to see somebody coming from either side. Because I was just running down and I don't know where the guy came from, boom. My feet were up in the air, boom. I hit the back of my head on the ground, and I had no idea where I was at.
I want to ask you a question about kickoffs.
Yes.
Now, back when you were playing and in college, I mean, if you're on the bomb squad and you're chasing to kick off or punts or whatever, that's where a lot of injuries occur.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What do you think about the new way that the NFL kicks off?
I think it's good. I think it's good because there were so many injuries where you get up to a certain speed and you're running full speed. A lot of times you collide with a guy, either he gets hurt or you get hurt because you're running at such a speed to collide.
Right.
So they're kind of cutting that back, and where where you're not able to get up to that type of speed because you're lining up so close to each other. Right. So I think it's helped eliminate injuries, which is going to extend players' careers. And, I like the fact that they did it. I think it was a good decision to make the change, and it's helping guys stay healthier. So I think it's a good thing for the NFL. Good move by them.
Yeah, take care of their look out after their players.
That's right. Look after their players. That's right. That's a good attitude, and it's appreciated. Yeah.
If you wanted to play in the defense, which defense would you play for? The 2018 Eagles or the 2024 Super Bowl team?
That 24 team last year, boy, and they were this is where I think that Vic Fangio could do another great job, because he developed that defense as the season went on. They weren't playing well early in the season, and hopefully we'll see that again this year. But definitely the 24 team, the way those guys came together, because later in the season, and really, the Chiefs didn't do anything till they start really taking a lot of the defensive players out, and they had about 5 sacks against the Chiefs, and they put a beat down on the Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
The closest game they played was the one against the Rams, but that was a team and a defense that really came together as the season went along, because earlier in the season they weren't playing that well and they weren't doing anything remarkable as a defense. But as the season went on, they really came together. A lot of the guys grew up, and they really had a great year and had a big hand in the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. So I would have to say the 2024 gang is the group I would rather play with. They really came together, and I could see some of the things happening this year. And the Kobe Dean, you could just see with him coming into and playing some, you can see how just having the right attitude and his aggressiveness and everything is something that's going to be a benefit to that team. And of course, they got some young players that are just developing, tremendous talents, and they're going to get better and better as the season goes along. So hopefully they can pull it off again, where they improve defensively throughout the season to the point to where they're playing great football, and we take another trip back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was
once Nolan Smith is healthy. Once Nolan Smith is healthy, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
What was the hardest hit you ever gave?
I hit some quarterbacks pretty good.
Well, they deserve it.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. Because I had, a bunch of sacks with quarterbacks. There's a number of them where they got up slow or they didn't get up. But I in fact, I think it might be the Atlanta. That I had some good licks on that quarterback, but I guess the guy that I probably had some good licks on was maybe I'm thinking about the guy up in New York.
Talking about Eli Manning?
No, not Eli Manning. No, Sims.
Oh, Phil Simms.
Yeah, Phil Simms. Yeah.
Yeah.
But let me think. I'm really thinking about. I don't know if I would say him. Probably have to go with the Atlanta. I had some good hits on him because I was hitting him because I had 4 sacks and probably hit him maybe 8 times during that game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Out of all the Philadelphia sports team, I know Philly just had a heartbreak. 6th season.
Oh man, that was. Soon. What about that Thursday, man? That was a bad Thursday, boy.
Yeah.
They lost to the Giants, and the Eagles. They want a piece of the Giants, man.
They always do.
They know the Giants. So. The Giants got the best of them in that first game. I mean, they were. I mean, they really took it to the Eagles. I mean, with the running game, and the little short running back they got,
Akabubu.
Scatterbo,
yeah.
He was running hard and running over people, and they owed him. They need to get after them in this upcoming game because the Giants got the best of them in that first game.
Now, do you think that a 16-game season? I mean, that must be incredibly hard on their bodies, playing a 16-game season, even though they cut back on the preseason. I mean, that's a long season going from the middle of August all the way through and almost sometimes into February.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're right in that that does take quite a toll on the players, but it's just part of the job. The guys don't do as much hitting like in between, like at training camp, and you don't hit as much, during the week. So 16 games is really, wasn't that bad really, if you ask me. But of course, it's not an easy job. It's very demanding on the body, and that's why I retired. So at some point, a guy needs to know he can't do it anymore. But they try to do quite a few things to protect players, to make sure guys don't get injuries and things. So, but it's a violent sport. There's no other way around it. It's a violent sport, and there are going to be players that are going to get hurt, and hopefully, they don't have anything that's any that's life changing, and you just hope that guys play hard and they're able to have injuries that they can deal with, and it's not something that's life changing.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think about the Sixers this season?
They
just won their first game.
They're playing right now, right?
They just won their first game.
Yeah. Oh, they beat the Celtics, huh?
Yeah.
But the Celtics, there's not much. They got a lot of their players that's not the same Celtics team that has been playing the last few years, because they got injuries and some of their best players aren't going to play at all probably this year. But that's good. But it's going to come down to Embiid. Joel Embiid. How healthy is he going to be? I would like to see them say, okay, Joel, we're only going to let you play 50 games. We're gonna keep you rested, and we're going to try to keep you healthy. I think that'd be the best way to play with Joel, is to make sure that they keep him healthy. Don't try to push him that hard where he's playing game, day after, night after night. I would try to give him a break and have him where he doesn't try to do too much, so they could have him healthy for the playoffs, where he's not only ready for the playoffs, but he's rested and ready to go. And that would give the Sixers the best shot of doing something in the playoffs, is having a healthy Joel Embiid.
My friend Mark Bryson, he wanted to share a book with you. He writes children's sports books.
Oh yeah.
So he wanted to share a book with you. Mark, can you share the book with Gary?
I would love to chat with Gary about it. The first book is a baseball book. I don't know if you're a baseball guy.
Oh, come on. I played more baseball than I did football. Really, see what happened when I went to USC, I was recruited on a football and baseball scholarship. Beautiful. And I was supposed to play baseball, but what happened, Coach McKay, John McKay, he was the one that recruited me. But after my freshman year, he went to coach Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Right.
So John Robinson came in to coach the team after that. And he let me know that he wanted me out for spring ball. And so I was telling him, look, coach, I'm supposed to play baseball, coach. But he didn't want to hear it. So I really, didn't play baseball. But, in fact, a lot of people where I grew up at, they thought I was going to be a pro baseball player. They didn't think I was be a pro football player because I played more baseball than I did football. But that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
I'll say, at USC, did you ever come across Fred Lynn? He's a USC guy.
Yeah. He left before, just when I was getting there. Yeah, he was leaving. Yeah. Yeah.
What a great guy. He was actually
great.
an inspiration. He was he would always come to Fan Fest every year and talk to the kids, sign every autograph. And it was incredible because as a kid in Philadelphia, everyone would pretend they were Mike Schmidt or Larry Boa or Greg Luzinski or Steve Carlton. And I used to pretend I was Fred Lynn. And everyone's like, who's Fred Lynn? I was like, he hit a grand slam in the All-Star game, that Fred Lynn.
That's right.
So so I was blessed. For 20 years, I got to work with all the kids and do all the clinics at the All-Star Fan Fest. Okay. So all these great players would come over and share their stories and all their inspirations. So I turned a lot of those guys into bugs. So we had Orlando Cepeda became Orlando Cicada, and Mike Schmidt became Mike Schmidt, and Harmon Killebrew was Harmon Killerbee. And the movie's based on the movie The Natural. I don't know if you've seen it as a baseball guy. With
I saw it. I saw it. Yeah.
So we turned the smallest bug, which is a gnat, who has the strongest arm and the biggest dream, into The Natural. Okay. And I'll tell you what, it's been a blessing to work with kids, read the story, talk to the parents who know the movie The Natural and can kind of laugh about the names. Yeah. And then it kind of rolled into other sports. So basketball, people call it B-ball. That was an easy one. Okay. We got Joel Embiid and Michael Jordan and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Yao Wing. So it's fabulous.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. I know the kids would love that. Yeah.
Well, what I noticed that you do is work with a lot of ex-players. Yeah. And working with a lot of ex-baseball players and a lot of ex-basketball players, one of the things they would love to do is work with the kids. And the NBA had this Read to Achieve program, and the players would give out free books to schools and be the guest readers. Yeah. So in my mind, I really want to try to work with a lot of ex-players who maybe are tired of golf events or don't get a chance to speak to the fans or share stories or do something good for the community, or if they have a foundation that works with inner city schools. Or here's an example. The David Ortiz Foundation approached me about making this El Natural. And I said, of course, because he pays for families' surgeries in hospitals and he gives them a signed ball. He wants to give them a copy of the book. Wow. So it would be wonderful to kind of duplicate that success with Bryce Harper and his foundation and Shohei Ohtani. And then obviously, maybe a Brian Dawkins or a Jalen Hurts or Saquon Barkley. We turned Saquon Barkley into Saquon Barkleach, and we got JJ Watt and Mean Joe Green Fly. But it's based on, our football book is based on a Philly guy. You may have met him. His name's Buzz Bissinger. And he wrote, do you know what book he wrote, Gary? Friday Night Lights.
Is that so? Okay.
So our football book is called Friday Night Lightning Bugs. And we've got some great characters in that. I'm talking to Devin Hester about being Devin Hestermite and having a little fun with that. Okay. And then our soccer book is FIFA after FIFA, and we've got NASCAR after racing. And do you know what the #1 sport in the world is?
Soccer?
It was.
Okay.
And now it's also a bug name.
Is that so?
Think a sport that they maybe play in India, or it's a really long game.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Cricket, huh? Yeah, cricket. Yeah, okay.
So visiting schools, one of the kids was like, hey, did you know that the #1 sport in the world is a bug name? And I was like, cricket. So again, it's so amazing to speak with the kids. They're so creative and they have the most amazing ideas. Yeah. We were in a school the other day and we were talking about b-ball, and one of the kids was like, you have to make Tyrese Maxey into Fly-Reese Maxey. So it's just wonderful to see kids get excited about sports. And our whole message is read books, play ball, dream big, and try to get that balance in their lives and not just scroll on their phones all day. That's right. Or play a home run derby on their Xbox instead of going outside and playing a home run derby with a bat and ball like we used to do when we were kids.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So it's a blessing,
Yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah, that's good stuff. That's a great idea.
Thank you. Everyone I talk to says, "Oh, I got a few names." So all I do is walk around with Post-it notes and my little bug notebook, and I'm just writing down.
Write them down, huh?
So it's amazing. It's a blessing. And my favorite thing really is connecting with the players that are the inspiration for the Bugs.
Yeah.
And then maybe trying to roll that into like a Space Jam type of animation and real live action and get some creative teaching content done. And work it all together. Oh, here's another good trivia question for you. You might get this, Gary, because you're a California guy too.
Okay.
The guy who did the music for The Natural also did the music for the animated movie that was the inspiration for the Bugs to make them cute and cuddly and soft and huggable and not ugly and scary and pointy. Do you know who that is?
Wow, that was.
He did. He also wrote "You Got a Friend in Me."
You got a friend
for
now,
Toy Story.
I know the song and everything, but I'm trying to remember.
You probably know this one. How about this? I love LA.
Yeah.
We love it.
Small
Randy
people have
Newman.
Randy Newman.
Randy Newman.
Yeah.
So we have to connect with Mr. Newman. We sent him some information. We sent him a book, and his people were intrigued because they said he would love to introduce his music to another generation of fans. And the music in The Natural is just legendary. It's so inspirational. It sets the whole theme for the whole movie. So it would be an amazing experience to get a chance to work with him. Our goal, and I was telling the boys, sadly, a few weeks ago, we wanted to work with Mr. Redford to kind of be the narrator of the animated film and the audiobook. And sadly, he passed away.
Yeah,
he
passed away. Yeah,
he was Roy Hobbs to me as a kid. So
he was. That's right.
The guy was great.
He played some great roles. He's some different roles in movies. He played some great roles. Boy.
Yeah.
He really was the Mr. Hollywood. Like he was the poster for Hollywood excellence.
That's right. Yes, he was.
Really. I'm saddened that he passed away.
Yeah, that's too bad. That's true. Yeah.
So what about you, Gary? What are some of your favorite sports movies? You got some sports movies that you like to watch over and over again on TNT or?
Yeah, I guess I look at the one with what's the movie you're talking? It's a I guess it's Jackie Robinson.
42.
Yeah,
that's good.
I forgot the guy that unfortunately I think he passed. The guy that played him,
Chadwick Boseman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, he was
Chadwick,
great.
Yeah. He had played him, but that was a good movie there.
And Harrison Ford's in that, plays a great role as well. That's a terrific film.
Yeah, you're right.
Harrison Ford, he was in Indiana Jones as well, the Indiana Jones movies.
Yeah, the Indiana Jones movies.
What an icon he is.
Yeah, those some great movies. You're right.
My favorite sports movie is Remember the Titans.
That's a good one. Yeah,
and Space Jam. I like Space Jam.
I like Space Jam also.
That was a good
Raul,
movie.
did you see the newer Space Jam movie 4 years ago, the new one?
Yeah, but I like the one with Michael Jordan.
Yeah, me too. But the new one was pretty good too with LeBron James.
Right.
Oh, LeBron James, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gary.
Yes.
Who was head coach for the Cowboys and Lions and the Eagles back then when you were playing for the teams, and who was your favorite coach?
Okay, well, when I was with the Lions, it was Monty Clark. When I came to the Eagles, it was before Buddy Ryan, it was
Kotite. Is that what his
name?
No,
it wasn't Kotite. No, it wasn't Kotite. It was Marion
Campbell.
Marion Campbell. Campbell was the head coach.
Yeah, what a nickname, huh? What a great nickname, Swamp Fox.
That's a good. Yeah, Swamp Fox. That's good. That's a good Swamp Fox. Yep. So and then Buddy, and then when I was with the Cowboys, it was Tom Landry, and then Jimmy Johnson.
Wow, Tom Landry and Jimmy Johnson. What two incredible icons in football coaching history. Amazing.
No doubt about
and
that.
what a contrast, because they both sort of approach the game differently.
Yeah, completely. Yeah, they approach the game completely different. You're right.
Out of all the coaches you played for, who was your favorite coach? And were you in the game when they threw snowballs in Lincoln in the wet?
So I went through some experiences there with where they're throwing snowballs at the Cowboys during the game. But it's a favorite coach. That's tough. Who would I say that is? I don't know. That'd be tough for me to say. So I enjoyed my time with all of the guys. And with Tom Landry and Jimmy Johnson, it was just for a year I was there. So I might have to say give Buddy the nod. I had a good time when we were playing. When I played with the Eagles and with Buddy Ryan and with that group of players that they had there together. That was a great run.
You got that impression that his players in Chicago loved him. So clearly he is a player's coach, and he was carried off the field just like Ditka. And it goes to show you that's a sign of respect and love for your coach.
Or a split team.
You're carrying your defensive coordinator off the field.
Or a split team.
Yeah, that defense. Yeah. That defense, if you think about it, when has a defense had more to do with the team winning the championship than that Bears defense that year? The way they dominated so much that they had a lot to do with them winning that Super Bowl.
Well, defense wins championships.
That's right. That's right. They most definitely do.
Before we wrap things up, Mr. Gobb, do you have any motivational quotes for motivational inspiration for the viewers? And
well, I think that I do a lot where I working with kids and everything, and I think the biggest thing, I would encourage youngsters. Youngsters got to feel good about themselves, and we all have to feel good about ourselves in order to be able to share that with other people. If you don't feel good about yourself, it's hard to really help others, So that's one thing I really try to let kids know that, hey, there's only one of you, and all the creation of man and everything, all the people, you're the only one like yourself, and like to encourage people to love who you are, because and somebody says, oh no, you don't want to love, you want to be selfish. No, in order to help other people and really share love with other people, you have to feel good about yourself. If you don't feel good about yourself, really people like that, most of the time, they're not really nice to other people because they really don't feel good about themselves. So
right.
I try to share with youngsters to make sure they love themselves. Then they're able to go out and love other people, and you can let other people know and be. You don't have to be thinking about what's important to you and how you want to make sure you get this or you get that, and you're willing to share other things with other people if you feel good about yourself. So that's one of the things that I encourage the youngsters that I talk to is feel good about themselves. And a lot of times the other thing I teach them is they need to get their education. If you just get your high school diploma, because a lot of the youngsters, when I go in to talk to youngsters who are incarcerated, and a lot of them, I talk to them, when they're youth, 13, 14, 15, whatever, they got a chance, they're going to get out. So they get a chance to really make changes in their life and not make the same mistakes. And the thing I'll tell them is they need to get their high school diploma because in order to be able to get a good job, you need to be able to read. And that's what we got a problem in really with a lot of the kids that get in trouble with the law, and a lot of them, they can't read. That's one of their problems is they fall behind in reading and they fall behind in school, and then they end up, getting with some gang or, start committing crimes and things. And one of the things they see that happens is they don't know how to read.
I'd love to volunteer my time, Gary, to help you and put some programming together, give some free books to some schools or to some incarcerated children or some hospital groups or youth groups that because we can use sports to really get their attention. But then once we sit down with them,
I'll take you up on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Once we sit down with them and spend the time with them and read with them and teach them how important that is,
That's right.
They'll want to read more books and read more books. And then we'll keep bringing as many books as we can to as many kids as we can in as many places as we can. I'd love to do that with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that together. I'd love to.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
And if you want to guest on your studio, me and William and Charlie could be your guest on your studio.
You guys are invited to the Pixar premiere. We're gonna get a party bus and some popcorn, and we're gonna get some pizzas, and we'll have a lot of fun. We'll get the Philly sports guy.
That's right.
No, honestly, it's such a good feeling, guys, and you guys will catch the bug too. Pardon the pun of the bug, but when you get in front of a group of kids that look at you like, "Who's this guy? Why is he here?" But then you start telling them stories, and they really
that reminds me too. We still have to get the Philly sports guy on our show. Rahul, you stay in contact with him, right?
Yeah,
he's a good friend of mine. I'll talk to him for you guys.
Yeah,
there you go.
We have to get him on our show soon. Rahul,
he's a good guy.
Yeah, I know he's busy, like going to sports games during the week. But when do you think it will be a good Wednesday for him to be on our show when he's not busy?
I don't know. We'll
contact him and find out. Yeah.
No, he would definitely be open to it because he has such passion to talk sports. And like Gary said, the way our Philly fans travel, he goes everywhere. He was down in Brazil. He goes to every game. He's painted in every color for every team: the Union, the Sixers, the Phillies, the Flyers. Is that so? You name it. But you know what? That's who we want representing us because he loves the game. He's passionate. He's one of us. So it's cool.
I always try to help people out. I work for PennDOT and King of Prussia. Yeah, and we've been busy with real IDs and all. So I try to help people out when when they don't when they bring the wrong stuff and they have the list right in front of them what they need. They still bring the wrong document.
Oh.
And Raul's the one that has to turn them away.
Oh yeah,
and they jump all over Raul. But Raul and William are two of the nicest guys I ever met, and they're good dudes, both of them. And I just met Mark tonight. Well,
it's my pleasure. My pleasure, really. I was excited to reconnect with Gary after 25 years being, estranged. And I was excited to meet you guys because anyone who loves sports as much as I do, it's just nice to connect with other sports fanatics like myself. Yeah.
And that doesn't make you all bad, man. It doesn't make you all bad.
Before William does the closing statement, Mr. Gobb, do you have any words for the Eagle fans out there?
Well, I would tell Eagle fans to hang in there. That the Eagles have some work to do because they got to amazingly they're 5-2, but they haven't gotten things corrected on offense to where they really get into the groove they can get into because they got to get their offensive line healthy. If that offensive line gets healthy and they're able to get things going with the running game, and they'll have to have relied on their passing game, so it's going to advance more and more. Right. That you could wind up with a monster at the end of the season. And if that happens, I tell you, if you think the Eagles put some beatings on some teams last year, they could get in the playoffs and really be a team that nobody wants to play because they get their passing game going that we saw last week and keep that going, and then eventually get the offensive line healthy to where they can get the running game going. They're going to be tough to beat if they go into the playoffs like that. So hopefully that's what happens. I think that, you still got a lot of football to play, and hopefully they will get healthy. Landon Dickerson getting him healthy, and of course, Jurgens there at the center spot, and that whole group getting that whole offensive line healthy. If they do that, boy, I tell you, they really could put on a special performance. And, of course, that means, getting the defense going too. So I could see good things happening in the Eagles' future. This is going to be an exciting year, and we'll see what happens if they can repeat what they did last year. But I see some of the steps that are kind of setting things up that way. So hopefully it happens again. If it happens again, woo, all I can say is, boy, what a year it's going to be.
Do you like the tush push? Because Charlie thinks it's not a football play.
It's
Well,
not. It's a rugby play.
Yeah, it is kind of, I guess, a rugby play, but it's part of its football too, though.
Who started the tush push?
The
Which
Eagles.
Generation Eagles team started to push push?
This one.
Ours. Yeah, I figured it was ours.
Because it's illegal to assist the runner. That's my whole thing, my whole premise. If it's illegal to assist the runner, any runner, then it's the same thing for getting down on the goal line and getting behind the quarterback and pushing him forward.
Pushing him in, Well,
that's where I stand with that.
I think it's going to be hard for them to probably. I know they're getting some of the teams. They had quite a few of them this past year who tried to get rid of the tush push. And we'll see what happens going forward, because it seems like some of the guys are against it. But we'll see if the Eagles win it again. Boy, I know there's some people probably trying to gang up against them, try to get rid of it. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
and that's just my own personal point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Being Charlie McGrother and all that.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on the show, man.
No, my pleasure.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for coming on the show. It was great talking with you and talking football.
Yeah, okay, my pleasure. Hopefully the Birds is gonna we'll have a good. Who knows? Birds winning may come again.
Yeah.
There's a couple. I have a couple more questions.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Who do you think will win the World Series this year? And what do you think about the upcoming NBA season?
How do you spell Dodgers?
With two D's. Do you know how they got the name Dodgers? Do you know how they got the name Dodgers?
Yeah. No. How did they get the name?
Because when they were in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Originally, way back when, traffic isn't like it is now, where you got a yellow line and you got people going on the right-hand side. Back then, you had guys in horse carriages. You had trolleys, you had the newer cars.
Yeah.
So in order for somebody to get across the street, they had to dodge traffic. So that's how they became the Brooklyn Dodgers. Just to let you know. That's something I just found out a couple weeks ago.
That's a good one.
That's an answer on Jeopardy. Yeah. I like it.
No, what else did you want to know? You want to know about the baseball. So I'll tell you, the Dodgers, I think they're going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, it seemed like it.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think about the upcoming NBA season? And what was your favorite moment playing in the NFL?
Well, you start talking about the NBA. The Sixers have a shot. They have a shot. They got to stay healthy. And then, of course, you got to have a healthy Joel Embiid at the end of the season. So that's why I said before, if I were in charge of the Sixers, I would tell Joel, look, we want you for the playoffs. And we're going to keep you healthy for the playoffs. We're not asking you to play all these games. You play 50 games or whatever. We're going to make sure he's healthy, because I think with the healthy Joel Embiid, and you got the young players they have, I could see them doing something. I think they have a lot of the pieces in place, but hopefully. But I still think you'd have to say, that Oklahoma City, again they're going to be tough to beat. I think the Knicks. I think the Knicks got a team that could win it as well. I could see them doing something, but they're going to be making some noise. They got
all those guys. They got all those guys from Villanova. Look at that team.
That's right.
Yeah,
they got a lot of Villanova. You're right.
I like the Sixers team, but I think the Sixers team should be bought by someone that loves Philly and knows what Philly fans are. Because the Sixers owner that owns the team, they're the owner of the Commanders, they're the owner of the Devils, they're going to own a Philadelphia women's team in about a couple of years. So I want the Sixers to be owned by someone that loves Philly and that cares about Philly.
Yeah.
Like Pat Croce and Michael Rubin, those guys were Philly guys, huh?
Yeah.
They both had ownership one time. If any of you are related to Michael Rubin, by all means, please tell him I am trying to connect with him because I feel like I have all the characters he needs for his great Fanatics world that he's trying to create. It's funny. Someone said that he's trying to become the Amazon of sports, and they're well on their way. They also said he's trying to create a media company. So looks like the sky's the limit for Fanatics. Good for them. It's good to see a Philadelphia guy do great things. Same like Pat Croce. He's done great things still.
Yeah, you're right. He has.
Yeah.
William, can you do the closing statement?
Sure thing. Thank you, everyone, for listening to another episode of Rockin' with Rahul and the Free Amigos. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and remember, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you, and see you next week on our next episode. Bye. Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night, Mr. Cobb. Thank you
for
joining us.
Good night. You guys take it easy.
It was nice, to meet both of you. I'm glad you guys reconnected.
Okay.
Gary, I'm going to send you a box of books and my contact info. We're going to do some fun things together for kids.
All right. Hey, sounds good. I'll be waiting to get it.
Good luck with everything.
All right. Hey, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Gary.
That's right. You guys have a good one.
Mark, Gary.
Take care, gentlemen. Thanks so much.
Nice meeting all you guys.
Let's go Birds. Let's go Birds.
Go Birds.
Eagles. Or the way they used to say it when I was a kid, Eagles.
That's right,
Iggles. That's right. Philadelphia Eagles.
Have a good one.
All right. Good night.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Very good show, Rahul. What did you think? Where did William go? Where did William go? What did you think, Mark? Was that
you guys?